Afternoon to what is admittedly a tiny, meagre portion of the internet that watches our silly little videos, or James's silly little video. It's taken me a disappointingly long amount of time to get round to recording a video to James, and so to make up to it, I thought I'd appeal to his large ego and do a video partially about him, and then I'm going to go on some other stuff that I think he wants to know about because it's amazingly cool. So to start with, I'll tell you about James. I think he's an awesome guy. I met him at Portsmouth, but he's had a life before then, and so I've had to do a quick Google search just to remind myself of what this guy has been at, well, before I knew him. And well, he's led a very interesting life. He was at one point known as Sikandar Sahib. This was when he was part of the East India Trading Company. Yeah, he was a really big guy in India. Lots of people liked him. I'll show you a very good little picture of him right here. Yeah, that's not quite how I know him. That's not quite how the internet knows him. They know him as the ginger freak with the funny face. But let's not linger on his face. Well, it's all about his mind. You see, he's a very clever bloke. When I knew him, he was studying biology, but again, the internet tells me that that he's also an incredible chemist, and he studies the structure and dynamics of condensed phase systems, and it's incredible stuff. It really is. He told me all about it when that time. He also actually runs and manages his own business. It's internationally renowned. Worth the shot clothing. I'd give it a look if I were you. It's a good laugh. They sell some great t-shirts. They've got cats. Classy stuff. Give it a look. Now I've got some bits and pieces of information for James. In my just internet trawling, I found some incredibly cool things that I know he'd like to see. The first one is a website called DNA11. What they do is they take a DNA fingerprint of, and then they turn it into a piece of art, and it truly is incredible. They put that on your wall. It looks brilliant. If I'm ever rich enough to buy him something as cool as this, I'm definitely going to buy it for James. I know that he'd like to have his own DNA fingerprint on as well. As I say, he's a bit of an egomaniac. Look forward to that, buddy. The other thing that I think I know that he'd appreciate, because it is so sick. I'm going to call it a dino pet. It's not as amazingly cool as you might hope. If we could all have little, like, T-Rexes running around the place, that'd be classic. You know it would. But this is almost cooler in a way. It's a little piece of plastic. I'll turn it around again. Plastic here, and it holds. It says living bioluminescent pet over here on the left. You can see it there. It holds a mixture of dinoflagellates, and it just turns into a little sick light that just sits there. But you got to look after them, and you got to treat it like a bit of a pet. So I might have to look at investing in one for him. I mean, I know he'd like it. I mean, look at it. It's blue. Ah, sick. I know he'd love it. Wow. Right. Well, I look forward to your response in the next 4 months. I hope that you don't quite leave it as long as I have. Big apologies.